The Rural Finance Expansion Program, RUFEP, is an initiative by the Zambian government under the Ministry of Finance aimed at extending financial services and products to rural areas. Funded by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, with co-financing from the Spanish Trust Fund and the Government of Zambia, RUFEP aims to promote rural financial inclusion in Zambia. The program's development objective is to increase access to and use of sustainable financial services and products by rural men, women, and youth in Zambia. Effective 22nd July 2014, following the signing of the financing agreement between the Government of Zambia and IFAD, the program has a duration of 8 years.
RUFEP is an abbreviation for Rural Finance Expansion Program. It is a Government of Zambia initiative supported by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. RUFEP was designed and established by the Government of Zambia after they signed a financing agreement with the IFAD in July of 2014. The government basically wanted to intervene in the sector to see how they could support the increase of access to and the usage of sustainable financial services in rural areas, and specifically targeting women, the youth, and men.
RUFEP targets to ensure 140,000 rural households across Zambia have access to financial services and products which are sustainable by the year 2022. The Program Coordination Office is housed at Mount Building along Tabombeki Road in Lusaka. RUFEP's program design and implementation strategy is anchored on 3 components. 1. Strategic partnerships. 2. Innovation and Outreach Facility, IOF. 3. Knowledge management and program implementation.
Strategic partnership component. This component looks at issues at a macro level. That is, we are looking at intervening to sort of stimulate the development of conducive policies and strategies. So at that level, we work with institutions and government institutions and departments that would be able to support the creation of new policies, but also institutions that look at the development of regulations. For example, the Central Bank of Zambia. We also work with the Minister of Finance. We work with the Association of Microfinance Institutions of Zambia. We also work with a new institution called Savings-Led Microfinance Network of Zambia.
RUFEP is working with strategic partners in the financial sector, including regulatory authorities such as Bank of Zambia, to promote financial education, innovation, and knowledge sharing. Financial education is important in achieving rural financial inclusion. Annual events such as the Financial Literacy Week bring together various stakeholders in the financial sector to promote financial education in Zambia. For this reason, the Rural Finance Expansion Program, RUFEP, partnered with key stakeholders in the financial sector in organizing the 2017 Financial Literacy Week, which ran from 27th March to 2nd April 2017. Organized under the theme, Know and Plan Your Finances to Live a Better Life, Mongo District Commissioner Susiku Kamona flagged off the march past.
So now it's my honor and rare privilege indeed to flag off, okay?
sponsored and organized the launch of the Financial Literacy Week in Western Province, held on the 29th of March 2017 in Mongu, the provincial capital.
Thank you, Permanent Secretary, for finding time to visit this year's Financial Literacy Week. It is a great privilege and an honor that you found time to be with us here.
The event attracted the participation of local financial institutions, non-bank institutions, and non-governmental organizations. Among the banks that participated were Zambia National Commercial Bank, ZANACO, Barclays Bank, Indo-Zambia Bank, and National Savings and Credit Bank. The Smallholder Agribusiness Promotion Program, SAP, supported by IFOD in Zambia, also participated in the launch of the Financial Literacy Week in Mongu. Kupangela Hamo Food Suppliers, one of the beneficiaries of SAP's matching grant facility, joined financial institutions in exhibiting at the Financial Literacy Week launch. With support from SAP, the company buys rice from farmers and is involved in processing, packing and marketing of Mongu rice in Western Province. The launch of the Financial Literacy Week for Western Province was graced by Western Province Permanent Secretary Mwangala Liomba, who was the guest of honor.
The Financial Literacy Week is an annual awareness campaign aimed at raising awareness levels on issues of financial education in the country. The campaign is adopted to meet the objectives of the National Strategy on Financial Education, which was launched in 2012. The strategy seeks to promote financial inclusion in Zambia with the following objectives: to have a financially educated Zambian population, and secondly, to improve knowledge, understanding, skills, motivation and confidence among Zambians to help them secure positive financial outcomes for themselves and their families.
Keepers Zambia Foundation, KZF, is one of RUFEP's implementing partners supporting community-based serving groups in rural areas of Western Province.
Keepers Zambia Foundation, we are working in partnership with the Finance Expansion Program. So far, Keepers Zambia Foundation, we have women's groups which are trained in savings at community level, who are doing the savings groups. So our community-based facilitator is going to explain a few things how they do their savings in order to grow their monies at a community level.
Tusanga mubukiro wa mashereni bane kona mulko nakufumana ni maloni mwateni bona mama kuko mwali kwataziswa na sina zetu kufumana nga mashereni ateni hako ni kulyangana bakisa ona kukailimo naye kona mulko nakumona mabizo abantu kaufera nene ni na mifuta emi lalo ya mashereni guys mwateni kona mulko nakubya ma social fund mashereni olo tusaka matata asiana ni saving yalona afumane haonamo ndakona kubera kazi sundani sunda lokopana hapo kona mulko nakusevingera ikeke ko ne bintu sisangaye mo bya monteni membership mo bya social fund mo bya wa miladi bale bakosa kusatumilatu mo kona mo bya savings.
Through such partners, RUFEP aims to link community-based serving groups in rural areas to formal financial institutions such as banks in urban centers.
As a nation, we need to develop a culture of savings to ensure that it's a sustainable future for ourselves, our children and the future generation. In view of this, our program is working with the banking, non-banking financial institutions, insurance companies, capital markets and pension sectors to develop products and services that are inclusive. Being inclusive means that financial products and services should respond to the needs of all segments of society, including rural communities and also the excluded social groups such as women and youth. RUFEP is currently engaged with potential implementing partners in an effort to promote growth of community-based savings groups in rural areas and creating linkages with the formal financial institutions.
The Financial Literacy Week targets the youth population as key to financial education. As such, the involvement of education institutions such as primary schools, secondary schools and colleges in financial education campaigns is vital for reaching out to the masses. Annual events such as the Financial Literacy Week provides a platform for stakeholder engagement and implementation of the national strategy for financial education for Zambia. RUFEP is committed to working with the financial sector players and regulators in the banking, insurance and capital market sectors to ensure equitable access to financial services by all people in Zambia. Through the Innovation and Outreach Facility IOF, RUFEP is keen to support institutions and organizations with innovative ideas that support the expansion of banking services to rural areas.
Innovation and Outreach Facility is a matching grant facility, which means as a program we are able to support any implementing partner that comes through with an innovative idea. We provide resources in accordance to the agreements that we have made. We have 3 windows under this component. The first window looks at supporting what we call community-based financial institutions linkages. Community-based financial institutions, or CBFIs, are basically savings groups. There are various savings groups that have been mobilized around the country, where people get together in groups, usually between 15 and 25 people on average, and they start saving money. They are involved in various activities. Because most of these are in rural areas, they will be most likely be in agriculture or smallholder farming, and they agree on a day when they meet, and they agree how much money they are going to save on that particular day. After some time, they start giving themselves loans. So what we do is we support these institutions to try and link their activities with the formal financial sector. These groups should have been in existence for at least 2 or 3 years. They would have done what is called sharing out. This is basically being able to at least exist for 1 year. At the end of the year, people look at how much money they have saved and how much money they have made through the various investments that they would have been making in their individual projects, and then they share the money out, and they start again. All financial institutions, all financial players, or any institution that want to play in this space are free to apply. We also have on our website formats of how you can actually apply. So you start by writing what we call a concept note. This is just an idea of what you want to do. So you can, again, you find the format of how to do that. It's a very few pages just for us to understand what it is that you want to do, for us to make our mind up that indeed. And we also want to make sure that these services are not just available, but people are actually using them. So we should have products that are appropriate. And if you have to send money, you should be able to go to the nearest place and be able to send money to your son or your daughter who is in school somewhere. Our ultimate aim is to really to increase the livelihood, improve the livelihood of the Zambian person, especially the woman and the youth, through financial services.
RUFEP is currently engaged with strategic partners such as Bank of Zambia, BOZ, Development Bank of Zambia, DBZ, Ministry of Finance and apex organizations such as Bankers Association of Zambia, BAZ, ServeNet to achieve rural financial inclusion in Zambia. RUFEP is committed to partner with various stakeholders in the financial sector to bridge the urban and rural divide through increased access to financial services by disadvantaged groups.